Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome again, my lovely Form 3 students in our proceeding biology lecture series, and we are currently proceeding with our topic on the coordination, where we are currently proceeding with our topic of the coordination, and we have already seen on the first part of the central nervous system in this subtopic of the nervous system in human. Now we are proceeding with the second part of the nervous system ambapo tayari tushaangalia the central nervous system, the components yake ambayo ni brain pamoja na spinal cord, pati zake na namna gani zinafanya kazi katika mwili wa binadamu, vile vile for others animals. Tunaweza kumchukulia binadamu as one of the representative member of those animals, of those mammals. So in our today's session tunaenda kuangalia the second component of the nervous system ambayo ni peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system. Tunapozungumzia peripheral nervous system, this involve all system with the exception to brain pamoja na spinal. So these are the one which are found katika surface of the brain pamoja na spinal cord, ambazo zile zina be involved within, zenyewe zipatikane within, lakini katika surface of the brain pamoja na spinal cord, na hivyo tengeneza the peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system, all nerves that link the body to the brain and spinal cord make up the peripheral nervous system. So nerves zote ambazo zinakuwa zina link the body to the brain and spinal cord, ambazo brain and spinal cord, these are the central nervous system, make up the peripheral nervous system. In simple terms, peripheral nervous system ni all nerves with the exception to brain pamoja na spinal cord. Nazobaki zote katika mwili ni peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system can be divided into voluntary or somatic. Somatic hapa ina involve the use of the cell bodies, somatic cell bodies or cell organs, au involuntary ambayo inakuwa ni automatic nervous system. So this is the division of the peripheral nervous system, ambapo kuna somatic, automatic pamoja na somatic nervous system. So the voluntary nervous system is composed of the sensory and motor neuron that link the central nervous system and the skeletal system. Kwa the voluntary ambazo zenyewe zinakuwa ina involve the use of the consciousness, the use of the will of power, zenyewe zinakuwa zina composed of the sensory na motor neuron. Tumeangalia katika sensory na motor neuron, sema kwamba sensory neuron ile ambayo inakuwa ina carry out the impulses toward the central nervous system ambayo ni brain kwa ajili na spinal cord kwa ajili ya interpretation, lakini motor neuron ni zile ambazo zinakuwa zina carried the interpreted information from the central nervous system to the effectors organ, either muscle or gland, kwa ajili ya kuweza kuchukua a particular response or correct action pertaining the received or interpreted information by the central nervous system. So these are zinakuwa zina involve the voluntary or somatic nervous system. So ambazo zenyewe that link the central nervous system pamoja na skeletal muscles. It is concerned with activity under the direction of control of brain, such as kicking a football. Ni watu wazita voluntary, kwa zenyewe zina involve the use of will of power, the use of reasoning, the use of thinking. Baada hapo ndio mtu aweze kutake a particular action. Kwa mfano kama kicking of a football, kucheza mpira. Huwezi ukacheza tu mpira bila kufikiria. Huwezi kuona ule pale ni mpira, wacheza mpira, yule daka mpira, kipa, lazima involve the voluntary. Ajue kwamba huyu mtu anapoenda huku, nikienda kudaka upande huu hata nifunga, ila nikizembea hapa au niruke, au huu mpira wa kupigia kichwa, hapa mpira wa kupigia miguu, au nicheze kwa namna gani. It is voluntary action. It involves the use of the will or the use of the brain or thinking pamoja na reasoning. So the voluntary nervous system is composed of the sensory na motor neuron. Zenyewe the voluntary ambazo zenyewe does not involve the use of the will of power. They are rapid and automatic responses. Zenyewe ni voluntary. So zenyewe they are composed of sensory na motor neuron that link the central nervous system and the smooth muscles of the internal organ. Tumeangalia skeletal muscle katika topic yetu ya movement. Tunaweza kuangalia kuna aina 3 za muscles, ambapo kuna skeletal muscle, smooth muscle pamoja na cardiac muscle. Ambapo tunaona kwamba skeletal muscle zenyewe ipo ni voluntary muscle, since that it controlled by the use of this central nervous system ambayo ni brain. Lakini the smooth muscle yenyewe ni voluntary. It found within this, kwa mfano kama digestion, it tend to line the lining of the intestine, stomach. Digestion, you can't control it, the voluntary. This internal, kwa mfano kama katika maeneo ya kidney, livers, ndio kwa zinapatikana maeneo kama hayo. So these smooth muscles, they are voluntary, they are not under the control of the brain. So dilation, vasoconstriction of these blood vessels, they are controlled by the smooth muscles ambazo zenyewe ni voluntary. Sio will of power moyo kwamba now I need my blood vessels to constrict, now I need my blood vessels to dilate. No, it is voluntary and it will happen automatically and rapid in response to a particular stimulus. So the voluntary nervous system is composed of the sensory and motor neuron that link the central nervous system and the smooth muscle of the internal organ. The smooth muscles of the internal organs, either kidney, either liver, either stomach, and others. So it is coinciding with unconscious activity in the body such as heartbeat. So it tends to be coinciding with the unconscious activity. Kwa mfano kama mapigo ya moyo, you can't control your heartbeat. Vile vile kuna peristalsis hapa during the digestion, when the food bolus move through the esophagus na iko inatengeneza wave like motion ambayo tunakuwa tunaita peristalsis. Na vile vile sweating kutoka kwa jasho during the high temperature regulation as one of the mechanism of cooling the body. And this is the structure of the peripheral nervous system. This is how it looks. Tumesema kwamba may be divided into two parts, ambapo kuna voluntary au somatic na involuntary au autonomic nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system ambayo yenyewe inakuwa ina link the nerves of the body to the central nervous system. So zenyewe all nerves that link the spinal cord na brain to other parts of the body inaitwa peripheral nervous system, ambazo zenyewe zenyewe zipatikani tu katika central nervous system. All other nerves ambazo maybe remain tofauti na zile zilizo katika central nervous system ni peripheral. So tumeona types zake ni voluntary nervous system ambayo ni autonomic na voluntary ambayo ni somatic. Ukija katika voluntary na yenyewe imebe divided katika sehemu kuu mbili, ambapo kuna sympathetic na pamoja na parasympathetic, ambapo the sympathetic nervous system yenyewe imebe made up of this spinal nerves, lakini parasympathetic nervous system yenyewe imebe made up of this spinal nerve pamoja na the cranial nerves. Lakini voluntary nervous system ambayo ni somatic yenyewe imebe made up of this spinal nerve pamoja na cranial nerve. Tuweza kuangalia component katika cranial nerves, na zile nerves ambazo zinakuwa zina join the brain to the head, trunk pamoja na neck katika our previous session. So that was all about the structure or diagrammatic presentation of the peripheral nervous system. So the peripheral nervous system also comprises of cranial na spinal nerves. Tunaweza kuziangalia katika those classes, the cranial pamoja na spinal nerves zipo zote katika both somatic na involuntary. So the cranial nerves arise from the brain and they form the receptors and effectors in the head. So these cranial nerves tumeangalia katika component of the brain, they arise from the head, from the brain, na zinatengeneza effectors pamoja na receptors pamoja na effectors. Receptors ni zile ambazo zinakuwa zinapeleka information kwenye brain kwa ajili ya interpretation, lakini effectors ni zile ambazo zina carry those interpreted information from the central nervous system to the effectors organ au motor. Tunaweza kusema ni sensory pamoja na motor neuron. So generally the function of these nerves is to transmit impulses from the sensory organ ambayo hapo ni receptors to the brain for the interpretation, na kutoka kwenye brain kwenda katika effectors organ by these effectors. So the spinal nerves arise from the spinal cord to the intervertebral foramen of the vertebrae. Kwa hiyo tunaona cranial zenyewe arise from the brain, lakini those spinal nerves zenyewe zina arrive from this spinal cord to the intervertebral foramen ya vertebrae. Tumesema kwamba the spinal cord is found within the spinal canal of the vertebral column. Now within the vertebral column kuna those vertebrae ambayo inact katika cushioning. So it is where these spinal nerves are arised. So the spinal nerves occur in pairs and each with the two roots, namely dorsal na ventral root. So these spinal nerves occur in pair, na kila moja each root namely as dorsal pamoja na ventral. Katika spinal cord tumeweza kuangalia kwamba the sensory neurons zenyewe zinakuwa zina enter katika spinal cord to the dorsal, lakini zinakuwa zina leave from the spinal cord to the ventral nervous system ambayo zinakuwa ni motor towards the effectors organ. So these two roots join together before they pass through the intervertebral foramen. So before they pass through this intervertebral foramen, they tend to join or to fuse together. The dorsal root is made up of sensory nerve fibers, and the ventral root is made up of motor nerve fibers, as we already discussed. So the autonomic nervous system control the voluntary action of smooth muscles of certain glands. Tumesema autonomic, tumesema kwa tuna type of the nervous system of the peripheral, ambapo kuna automatic pamoja na somatic. Na tumeangalia kwamba automatic imegawanyika katika sehemu kuu mbili, ambayo ni sympathetic pamoja na parasympathetic. So the autonomic nervous system control the voluntary action of the smooth muscles of a certain gland. Kwa sababu the smooth muscles, they tend to work under involuntary control. So they tend to control the function of these smooth muscles of a particular gland. Also, it is divided further into sympathetic nervous system, which is mainly excitatory effect of the body, and the parasympathetic nervous system. So those are the major subdivision of the autonomic nervous system. So the parasympathetic, nimesema kwamba the sympathetic yenyewe lako ina base au ina deal na mambo ya excitatory effect katika deal with excitatory effect katika body of an organism, lakini zile ambazo zinakuwa zinamsaidia mtu during these immediate responses, kwa mfano the accident, inasaidia mtu kuweza kuteka a rapid response to a particular action ambayo inaweza kutake place. Lakini parasympathetic ni pale ambapo mtu anapokuwa katika at resting, anapokuwa katika utulivu, ndo parasympathetic system imekuwa ina function kuweza kusaidia mwili kuwa katika hali ya kuweza kurelax. Lakini this sympathetic na function during this an anxious condition. So the parasympathetic system, nervous system, useful for calming, which mainly come in the influence. So it is responsible for the calming influence, kuweza bring the body into the relaxing, into katika relaxing situation. So the two systems opposes each other in action. So these are two systems, they tend to oppose each other katika action. So for example, if the sympathetic system causes the muscles to contract, kwa mfano kama sympathetic system yenyewe imepelekea contraction of muscles, yenyewe the parasympathetic itapelekea dilation, meaning that these two part of the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic pamoja na parasympathetic, they tend to work together lakini antagonistic, meaning that moja kicontract mwingine ana dilate. Unaweza kuangalia mfano mzuri during the peristaltic during the movement of the food bolus in the esophagus. Nimeangalia during the contraction pamoja ni relaxation. Nimeona pale kuna those longitudinal muscles ambazo zinakuwa zina be responsible there. So that is one of the example of the peristaltic. Kwa mfano katika kupepesa macho, kwa mfano kuna dilation, kuna vasoconstriction of the blood vessel during the control of the temperature regulation. The parasympathetic ikiconstrict, parasympathetic relaxes, sympathetic yenyewe ina contract. So they tend to work antagonistic. So example, when the muscle contracts, the parasympathetic system causes the muscle to relax. Now let us consider the concept of the reflex action. The reflex action tumezungumzia mara nyingi sana about the voluntary action. So the involuntary action ni sawa na those reflex action, ambao ni zile action these are the one which are very rapid, and autonomic response, ambao they does not involve the use of the willpower. So they tend to occur very very rapid and mostly katika this anxious situation. So a reflex action is a rapid autonomic response to a stimulus. A reflex action is made possible by the neural pathway called the reflex arc, which carry the impulses to and from the spinal cord. So they are made possible by this reflex arc, ambayo kazi yake katika kupeleka taarifa katika spinal cord na kuweza kutoa taarifa katika spinal cord, ambapo tunazungumzia sensory motor neuron pamoja na motor neuron. Ambayo inapeleka taarifa ni sensory, ambayo inatoa ni motor neuron. Take an example, kwa mfano mtu alikuwa amepick up mkono wako, kidole chake katika hot object. So the sensory neuron will carry up information to the central nervous system, ambapo ni spinal cord, ambapo itabe interpreted, na hivyo mtu anaweza kuwa aware kwamba this one is the hot object. So what can be made? What should be taken? The information is being sent to this motor neuron. that one is the hot object. So what you have to take it out is to pull away your hand from that particular hot object. So the effectors organ will respond by causing the muscular contraction, which is the movement or pulling away of the hand from that hot object. So this is how that's the neural pathway or the reflex action tends to take place by involvement of this neural pathway. So unakuwa una involve those all three motor neurons, all those three neurons ambao kuna sensory pamoja na relay pamoja na motor neuron, ambao relay ina act kama connector between the sensory pamoja na motor neuron. So this pathway does not involve the brain, Ndio tumesema kwamba yenyewe ni reflex action, inakuwa mostly involuntary, ndio maana there is no involvement of the brain, kwa sababu brain yenyewe ni voluntary, lazima ipokee will of power, lazima mtu afikirie. Lakini kwa kuwa ni spinal cord hakuna ile thinking, it happen to for those action which need the rapid responses. So example of reflex action include the change in the size of the pupil when subjected to bright or dim light, sudden withdrawal of full hand or leg from the hot object or sharp object. Kwa mfano changing of the size of the pupil. Kwa mfano the way unavyoona, kwa mfano kama kuna giza, size ya pupili yako, kwa mfano ghafla kwa kuna umeme, afu uko katika mwangafu ghafla tu giza likaingia, utaangalia the size of the pupil itaweza kuadjust ili kuweza kusaidia mtu kuweza kuona. Lakini ghafla tena umeme urudi, unaenda kuangalia kwamba the size of the pupil vile vile itaweza kuchange. Tunaenda kuangalia hayo katika sense organ, katika concept ya mechanism of vision in coming session. Tutaweza kuangalia details on how the pupil tend to change the size of light during the dim light pamoja na katika bright light. Vile vile the removing or withdrawal of hand or leg from the sharp or hot object, as I've already explained on how this reflex action tend to take place. So mpaka hapo unaona umuhimu wa the reflex action. So when pricked with the sharp object or hot object, vile vile coughing or sneezing, kwa mfano umepita katika vumbi unajikuta ghafla unapiga chafya. Vile vile knee jerk in response to elbow or stamping someone leg, na vile vile salivation at the sight or smell of food. Vile vile kwa mfano umeona chakula kinavutia au umesikia harufu nzuri ya chakula, unajikuta tu tayari unaanza kutoka udenda. So this is the reflex action. Now my lovely Form 3 students, I hope now you have enjoyed the lesson. Vile vile umeweza kuelewa in detail concerning this session. But before I sum up my session, I would like to give you this simple task. Please try to attempt it so that you can improve your understanding. Usione kwamba maswali ukasoma tu kuona kwamba ni simple, usiyafanye kwa kuwa umeelewa session. Hapana, try to attempt it, na unapokuwa unafanya usiige. Just andika kile ambacho umekielewa from the session. Kama umesikiliza kwa makini, utaweza kutackle it very very carefully bila hata kuweza kujilizia, na mpaka hapo utaweza kujua umeelewa kwa extent gani. Na vile vile endelea kufanya maswali tofauti, fanya kusolve maswali ya NECTAS past papers kwa ajili ya kuweza kudeepen your understanding. So my question to you today is, differentiate between the following: autonomic and somatic nervous system. Autonomic and somatic nervous system. The second question: what type of neuron are involved in the simple reflex act? What types of neuron are involved in the simple reflex act? Up to there, my lovely Form 3 student. Thank you for your attention. Keep on following Educare Media. Have a nice moment.